No?
Alright.
All right. So the mother I'm talking about is Moses' mother. And so I'll just start by reading Exodus 2, 1 through 10. So, now a man from the house of Levi went and took as his wife a Levi woman. The woman conceived and bore a child. And when she saw that... Oh, I should give context. Hold on. In Exodus 1, what happened was the Pharaoh had said that the Israelites were growing too quickly and they needed to kill some of them out because they were afraid of being overtaken. The Egyptians were afraid of being overtaken. So the Pharaoh told all the midwives to kill every boy that was born, just let the girls live. So, okay, sorry about that. So the woman conceived and bore a son. But then she saw he was a fine child, so she hid him for 3 months. When she could hide him no longer, she took for him a basket made of bulrushes and daubed it with some stuff that makes it waterproof. And she put this child in it and placed it among the reeds by the riverbank. And his sister stood at a distance to know what would be done to him. Now the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, while her young woman walked beside the river. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her servant woman, and she took it. When she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby was crying. She took pity on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call you a nurse from the Hebrew woman to nurse the child for you?" And the Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." So the girl went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed him. When the child grew older, she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, because she said, "I drew him out of the water." Okay, so who here has seen Prince of Egypt? Right. It's much different than this. That's what I learned. Because I was imagining in Prince of Egypt, she's singing this song, and she's crying, and she has this basket, and she puts it in the river, and it floats down the river, and there's crocodiles, and there's waves, and the basket's going crazy, and then it gets to the Pharaoh woman, and the Pharaoh's daughter just keeps her. So much different than this. And I think it makes more sense this way. Because you can see the mother being very strategic and kind of clever in what she's doing. She's not just randomly floating him down the river with the crocodiles. She's placing him in the reeds and, hoping he's going to cry. And it's near where the Pharaoh's daughter goes. And she has the daughter watch out for them. The daughter's very clever too. And, "Oh, would you like me to fetch someone for you?" Okay. And it turns out Moses' mother ends up getting paid to do what she would have wanted to do anyway. But anyway, so besides being clever and strategic with that, you still think what heartbreak that would be to have to give up your baby. But you can just see how she was trusting in God that He had a plan. She didn't let a midwife just kill her son when he was born, but she hid it. She took that risk to hide the baby, trusting that God had a bigger plan. And where am I getting at? So she had faith that God would protect her baby, and she would have had no idea that he would have grown up to be who he was and how we all remember him as the leader of the Hebrew nation and the rescuer of them. But she knew that God had something better for him than to just die, than to be killed right when he was born, but to take that risk, that God would protect Moses, and he had something. And then when I was talking to my mom about this morning, and she pointed out that mother, she would have never forgotten after those years of raising the baby and giving him back. She was probably always watching out for him. She probably always had her eye on him. And so how this can relate to us is we may have different dreams for our lives, things that we really want. So it may not necessarily be, it could be a child. But it could be just having a happy marriage or a successful career or a talent or whatever it is. And we may not seem to be able to get that. We might not, it might feel like that's not possible. But if we turn those dreams over to God, so like Moses' mother put Moses in God's care, said, okay, I can just imagine her praying over, like, I hope, I pray that this basket, someone good finds this basket. So just trusting that God has a bigger plan. So she was being strategic, but again, she would have still had no idea what God really had in mind for Moses, just this enormous plan. But she let him go, and she trusted God, and she did what she thought was best. So just like Moses' mother, we don't always see what God's purpose is. When it feels like we have to give something up, we don't always know why we have to give it up. But we need to just trust God that His plan is much bigger than ours is.
Okay.